to the Tuesday Night Touchdown Podcast with your hosts, Reese Downing and Jacob Workman.
What's up, everyone? We're back again. The Tuesday Night Touchdown Podcast. This is the NCAA edition, Week 12 picks. This season is almost over. I am not happy about it. Reese, we have two real weeks left.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
In college football, be 17 weeks. 18
if the
weeks,
playoff,
however the hell long.
if the playoff was as long as it should be, I think it would be pretty close to that, unfortunately. So, in case you've never joined us, I'm Jacob. On the other side of the screen, the fine citizen himself, Reese. Reese is only one of the finer people on the planet, like we like to say. Well, what's going on in your world over there, Reese?
Oh, not too much. Besides being depressed that college football season's almost over. Didn't have a great week on my side last week, so hoping to turn things around.
The picks weren't too terrible last week. So I finished 15-12 and Reese was flipped 12-15. Lock-wise, I went with Michigan. They covered, lost their head coach. Crazy week for Michigan. For Reese, he had Arizona, which was kind of an unfortunate non-cover there. I think they should have covered that. But
yeah,
Arizona did win the game. They just didn't cover. But overall, pretty good week. More terrible refereeing. Florida State beat Miami, which is awesome. So that's why the podcast is still alive right now. Otherwise, I have broken cameras and screens. So the 4 screens behind me probably wouldn't be on if Florida State would have lost that game. So with that, let's go ahead and get into our playoff predictions for this week. I'm just going to start because my number 1 is the exact same as it was last week. I'm still riding with Georgia. Another impressive performance. Bauer's back. I just can't not have that team at number 1 right now. Pretty impressive performances. Reese, yeah. Do you still have the Noles, or do we have a change over there?
I thought about it, man, because Georgia did look really, really good against the Rebels last week, but I still have Florida State here. Solid win against a big rival in Miami. They keep forging ahead, got it done. So I stuck with Florida State here for no other reason than that they got their W in a rival game.
Yeah, I'm with you with that. I kept Florida State at number 2 on my side, so my 1 and 2 did remain the same. Who are you rolling with for your number 2?
Same, Georgia. So we just got
flipped.
We just haven't flip-flopped here. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I thought about swapping them after the game that they just played against Ole Miss, but I think Florida State has a slightly better strength of schedule, so I gave them the edge there, keeping Georgia at number 2. But it's basically 1A and 1B.
Yeah, and I'm pretty excited. I like what Bama's been showing the last few weeks. I think I'm a little bit more intrigued by the SEC championship game now than I was a few weeks ago. They've came to life a little bit. Nice changes on the offense, and they're kind of looking like a team that could threaten them in the championship game.
Yeah, they locked that up this week, right? Or this past week. They locked up the SEC West.
It is completely set now. So for your number 3, who do you have?
Same, Ohio State. I still have them at 3 here. Unlike a few games this year where they've started off slow, they came out on fire last week against Michigan State, put up a ton of points, which they should against Michigan State. They've been reeling since the beginning of the year with all that stuff happening off the field, but offense looks really good, primed for a huge showdown in Ann Arbor here in 2 weeks.
So my number 3 is the same also. I have Washington still. What Michael Penix did last week, the wind was not good. Like, it was a very windy game, and Penix threw the most accurate balls I've ever seen anyone throw in my life. Like, he literally just stood back there and released the arrow like he does, and it was insane. He was putting balls on the, like, you couldn't have thrown a better ball. It was literally on the money, and to do that with the wind that they had, like, I don't think he's getting quite the respect he deserves. I know there's some people that talk about him, but like, no one is doing what he's doing. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Well, part of the problem is that he's not on national TV enough.
True. But he will be this week. They got the primetime game with Oregon State in Corvallis, so another chance to put on a performance, but I believe I actually saw that Bo Nix passed him this week as the odds-on favorite to win the Heisman, which to me is crazy, but the teams played head-to-head, and one of them had a better performance. It seems obvious to me, but whatever. So, who do you round out your top 4 with?
Washington. So I had no movement at all in my top 4 here. A bit of a scare playing the Utes, but they got a touchdown victory at home. We've talked a lot about how difficult it is to play in this Pac-12. They keep finding ways to win, which you have to do in this stacked conference, and especially with this gauntlet of a schedule here that they're wrapping the season up with. So I've got them sticking around at 4 here. No movement for me in the top 4 or in the first 2 out either. I still have Oregon and Michigan. Here's my first 2 out.
So I flipped. My 4 and my 5 did flip this week. I bumped Michigan up to 4 ahead of Ohio State just because one of Ohio State's only games they had played was Penn State, and Michigan hadn't played them yet, and now they have. So I put Michigan ahead. I think Michigan's resume is a little better than Ohio State's. It's close, but Michigan's performance on the field I feel like has been way better also. So I do have Michigan, Ohio State right behind them at 5. Clearly, this week, let's see, Georgia. Florida State, I think, is the only one that doesn't play anyone really worth a damn this week out of these teams. Georgia's Tennessee. Washington plays Oregon State. Who Michigan? Michigan plays Maryland, which at Maryland, I think we had that same we had that same conversation, but Maryland, I don't know. They haven't been as impressive lately. In Ohio
I
State,
think they gave Michigan a little bit of a scare last year, but
Ohio State plays Minnesota, which Purdue just absolutely throttled. So really Florida State's the only one taking a week off. They went with the SEC method this year, where the week before rivalry games they're going to play nobody. So I commend them for that. They deserve that before we go play Florida in Gainesville. Anything else on the? Also, so we are recording this. The college football playoff does not come out today until 9:00. So we record before that. So we will not have anything this week on the new top 25 rankings from the college football playoff committee. Reese, you got anything to add at all?
No, I don't think so. Ready to get these week 12 games out of the way so we can start getting to these real big games here at the end of the year and these conference championships. It should be a fun few weeks of football.
Yeah, I am glad that there are a few good games sprinkled in this week. A lot of them are not going to be that exciting, but I am glad that we at least do have a decent game pretty much in each TV window to get through. But yes, after this week, huge rivalry week next week, and then conference championship week, which hopefully we're trying to plan something a little special for conference championship week. So we'll see if we can get that to go down, but stay tuned for that. We might have a little special episode during that week. All right, so let's jump into the week 12 picks. Every top 25 team is playing this week. So we've got a lot this week. It's going to be a pretty hefty week. Hopefully we can improve our numbers still. To round up next week, we'll come back and we'll have the whole season win total. We'll give some conference championship scenarios that still exist. But for now, week 12's kicking off. Number 2, Michigan, -19 at Maryland, noon on Fox. 10-0 Michigan defeated Penn State 24-15, while 6-4 Maryland beat Nebraska 13-10. Clearly, we do not know yet if Harbaugh is going to be on the sideline for this game. I know that's something that I believe Friday is the court thing. If I remember right, it's Friday. So we'll maybe get a little bit more clarity as to if Harbaugh will be on the sidelines. But for now, what are you looking at for this game?
Yeah, we just talked about this. Michigan had a little bit of a scare from Maryland last year, but I don't think that's going to be the case this time around. Michigan looks good after that win against Penn State and Happy Valley last week. They're playing with some fire right now, given all the things going on off the field. So whether Harbaugh's there or not, I don't think it's going to matter. I'm going to take Michigan here minus the points.
Yeah, I'm on Michigan also. I liked all the bet tweets I saw coming out last week. I think Michigan got that little boost they needed. They're all pissed off. They're all ready to come out and show, all right, you want to do this to our coach for no reason. We're ready. I think they're going to come out and make some statements. Maryland's not the team that is going to be able to contend with this. So I like Michigan to cover this one pretty easily. With this next one, only only people who gamble on games are going to be interested in this one. Chattanooga is going on the road to number 8 Alabama. 45.5 is the line. Noon, and we're even on the plus. We got Bama on the plus. Like what's going on this week? This is 7-3. So Chattanooga does have some wins. 7-3 Chattanooga. They are coming off of a bye. 9-1 Alabama beat Kentucky 49-21. What you think Milroe and the boys can cover the 45.5?
Oh God, dude. Oh man. First of all, Chattanooga's 7 wins are against they lost their first game of the year against North Alabama.
Yeah, they're FCS, yeah.
Yeah. Then they lost to WCU, who I don't even know who the hell that Western Carolina,
the Catamounts, yeah.
The old Catamounts.
Yeah.
I guess that was last year. Anyway, I understanding that they are the team that they are. Like I'm going with Bama here. Senior day in Tuscaloosa. They've secured SEC West. I hate these powder puff games, especially this deep in the season, but I'll take the Tide here minus the points.
Can you look up real quick and tell me what Chattanooga's mascot is?
Yeah, I can. They're the Mocs, which I don't even know what the hell that is.
Like a moccasin?
It says the Mocs.
I'm
looking for a graphic.
I have no idea.
It's a bird. It's a bird with a
mock, yeah. Yeah.
Mock, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a bird with a chef's hat on.
Fuck yeah. That's all I needed to hear. 45.5.
No. It's not a chef's hat. It's a train's hat. There we go. I found the full logo. University of Tennessee at Chattanooga Mocs. I still don't know what a mock is, but
it's a what
with
hat?
A conductor hat on.
Oh,
a train conductor.
Okay. I thought you. We'll get canceled if I tell you what I thought you said. So.
Yeah, let's not. I already have an idea.
Give me the conductors. I want Chattanooga minus or plus 45.5. I like it. We're gonna get a backdoor cover in this one. I have a feeling this one will be relevant at about 3:15 p.m. Chattanooga has the ball on the 15-yard line against the 4th string Bama defense. I'll be tuned in. Don't worry. Chattanooga's covering.
Down 48-0.
Yeah, right. Well, hopefully they kick the field goal. Like who did that? Like Sean McVay did that one time. Most ridiculous. God. All right. Next game, UL
Keeping
Monroe.
The gamblers happy.
Yeah, that's all we do. UL Monroe at number 13, Ole Miss minus 37, noon on the SEC network. 2-8, UL Monroe lost to Troy 45-14, while 8-2 Ole Miss lost to Georgia 52-17. You rolling with Lane, or what? You got Bowden over there?
Oh man, yeah. UL Monroe's on an 8-game skid. Ole Miss returning home after getting embarrassed by that ass kicking in Georgia. I think Kiffin's about to take his frustration out on UL Monroe and Bowden's boys, so I'm going to roll with the Rebels here minus the points.
Yeah, I'm on Ole Miss too. It is very high, but you kind of anticipate like a 28-0 halftime score, so you just kind of hope they keep it up in the second half. Ole Miss is my pick. Rutgers on the road at number 12, Penn State minus 19, noon on Fox Sports 1. 6-4 Rutgers lost to Iowa 22-0, while 8-2 Penn State lost to Michigan 24-15.
Yeah, Penn State officially out of the race for the Big Ten East, as well as any chance to get into the playoff at this point. Rutgers offense has had some problems getting going, and this is another one where I think the home team comes in a little angry and ready to take it out on the opponent. So I'm going to take Penn State here minus the points.
So I actually went the other way. I'm going Rutgers just because IU went to Happy Valley and contended in the game. And if IU can do it, then I'm giving Rutgers a chance. Plus, with like what you just said, Penn State is kind of drawing dead at this point. So yeah. I give Rutgers an outside shot here to keep it close. I think this will probably come down to the end to see if they cover or not, but I have no desire to watch this game whatsoever. So I probably won't watch. But I'm going with Rutgers. This game I'm very interested in. Number 9, Louisville, -1 at Miami, noon on ABC. 9-1 Louisville beat Virginia 31-24, while 6-4 Miami lost to Florida State 27-20. Is that a shame? What do you got in this one?
Yeah, if I'm not incorrect here, if Louisville wins this, they're in the ACC championship, right?
Yes, because they play Kentucky after.
Okay. So Miami is also back to starting Tyler Van Dyke after benching him, and then Emory Williams going out with that injury. So I'm honestly a little surprised by the line here, but I'm gonna take the Ville here minus the points.
It's a pretty gruesome injury. I don't know if you saw it, but I
Yeah.
mean, I'll give him credit. It was a 4th down play, and he literally put his body on the line to get the first down, and he did. But God, his arm got shattered. So
Yeah.
but yeah, I think Van Dyke sucks. There's a reason they didn't play him at Florida State. He's back in. I like Louisville. Miami does not have a good home crowd. This is a noon game. No one's going to give a damn in Miami. No one will be there. The stadium is going to be empty. I think Louisville secures the bid. I think it's Florida State Louisville for the conference championship. So I am taking Louisville also. Number 14, Oklahoma minus 24 going on the road to BYU noon on ESPN. 8-2 Oklahoma beat West Virginia 59-20, while 5-5 BYU got destroyed by Iowa State 45-13.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Caden Slovis is playing. That's the difference here for me. If Slovis plays, I'll take BYU to cover. If Slovis is out, then give me the Sooners minus the points.
I'm just straight up taking Oklahoma. BYU just hasn't been the BYU of the last few years. And I think Oklahoma, I was very impressed last week. I did not think they were going to do that to West Virginia. I know it is a road game, but again, it's kind of one of those sleepy games. This is like an 11 or 10 a.m. local kickoff at BYU. So I don't think the Mormon crowd is too rowdy to begin with. So I'm going to take Oklahoma here to get the 24. Number 17, Tulane minus 9.5 on the road at FAU noon on the plus. 9-1 Tulane beat Tulsa 24-22, while 4-6 FAU lost to ECU 22-7.
Yeah, Tulane working towards that New Year's 6 game. I think they keep moving in the right direction here against the Owls, so I'll take the green wave here minus the points.
Yeah, I'm on Tulane also. Same thing you just said. I seems pretty likely Tulane is going to get that spot. I guess the only way, maybe if they lose a conference championship game, then maybe that might kick them out in the end. But I am also interested to see this JMU appeal. They've got to let them play. This is crazy. They should be able to play in the. I don't think they will either, and it's absolutely stupid. Like something's wrong with the NCAA. Well, a lot of things are wrong. All right, we're both on Tulane on that one. UMass, shout out Redman at number 25, Liberty minus 27.5, 1 o'clock on the plus. We got a lot of games on the plus. You know it's a good week when that's the case. 3-7 UMass is coming off of a bye, while 10-0 Liberty beat Old Dominion 38-10.
Yeah, Minuteman coming off a bye, but I don't think it's going to matter here. Caden Salter's been balling out this year. Very, very good. He's about to help the Minuteman drop that U and that M again. I'll take the Flame here minus the points.
Yes. Sorry, technical difficulties. I'm back.
I was going to say.
I happened to unplug my headphones. I couldn't hear anything. Yes, we are dropping the U and the M. Only Carter, the ass man, is brave enough to pick UMass on this podcast. So I'm on number 25, Liberty.
Do you mean Tyler from Spartanburg?
Oh, yes. I forgot. God damn. Yeah, Liberty it is. Let's go to the plus again. I don't know how we're going to get all these.
How many pluses are there? Jesus.
There's a lot of them. App State. College game days at this game, and it's on the plus. Like, how crazy is this?
The Dukes.
App State going on the road to number 18, JMU minus 9.5, 2 o'clock on the plus. 6-4 App State beat Georgia State 42-14, while 10-0 JMU defeated UConn 44-6.
Yeah, we just talked about it. I really hope JMU gets eligible to play in both the Sun Belt Championship and bowl eligibility. I don't think it's going to happen. It's bullshit if it doesn't, but I think the Dukes do come into this game knowing they have to keep it rolling in order to change any potential minds. So give me JMU here minus the points.
Yeah, imagine the possibility, like, say Tulane does lose and Liberty, even if Liberty goes undefeated, I think JMU's ranked way ahead of them. But imagine that, like, JMU would have had a New Year's 6 bowl taken away from them. JMU's never seen that kind of money in their life. Like, that's so ridiculous. They've got to fix that. I am actually going the other way, though. I think JMU wins the game, but I think it's too many points. App State lives for moments like this. This is the App State situation. They're going to come in and want to just ruin these assholes' season. So I'm on App State. I'm giving them a shot here. I think that they cover. I think it's too many points, And I think it's going to be a close game. I think they might have a shot to win it at the end. So I do like App State here. Next, if the plus wasn't fun enough, we're going to the Pac-12 network. Number 16, Utah, -1 at number 19, Arizona, 2:30 on the Pac-12 network. 7-3, Utah lost to Washington 35-28, while 7-3, Arizona beat Colorado 34-31.
Yeah, this one's going to be a fun one. I wish it wasn't on the 2:30 time slot. Wildcats won a close one last week against the Buffs. Utah's definitely a tougher opponent, but Arizona is at home. We know what Pac-12 games look like when these teams are playing at home. I think they can pull out a W, man. I'm going to take Arizona here, or plus the point. Basically a push, but
I say this is basically a pick 'em, and I'm on Arizona also. Utah's offense is non-existent essentially, and their defense is never the same on the road. So I like Arizona. Arizona, man, that team, nothing but improvement this season from Arizona. They've been incredible. Fafita is an absolute stud. I like this. Is gonna be a fun game to watch. I'll definitely be watching this, but it's unfortunate the situation of the time and the TV network. No, in my mind, this isn't the biggest game of the week. But what some people would say the biggest game of the week is number 1 Georgia -10 at number 21 Tennessee 3:30 on CBS. 10-0 Georgia defeated Ole Miss 52-17, while 7-3 Tennessee lost to Missouri 36-7.
yeah, to your point, a lot of people think this is going to be the game of the week. I don't think so. Georgia, the way they just played against Ole Miss, I would not want to be playing them right now, even being at home in Rocky Top. Tennessee couldn't stop Mizzou. There's no way they're stopping this Bulldogs offense. Easily taking Georgia here minus the points.
Yeah, I know we're a big pro Missouri show, or pro Missouri. Well, yeah, show was right. We both have been pretty supportive of them this year, talking about how good they are. And last week, what they did to Tennessee was absolutely ridiculous. They just beat the absolute hell out of them. I know they're going back home. I don't think it matters. I'll take Georgia minus the 10. I think I would take Georgia all the way up to 17. I don't see this being close. Wake Forest going on the road to face their former friend, number 20 Notre Dame, Sam Hartman, -24.5, 3:30 on NBC. 4-6 Wake Forest lost to NC State 26-6, while 7-3 Notre Dame had their second bye of the season.
Hartman against his former team, like you just said. Wake Forest is horrific with their turnovers, and Notre Dame capitalizes on those mistakes. So I'm going to take the Irish here to win big minus the points.
Yeah, I like Notre Dame coming off of the bye too. I don't really. This shouldn't be remotely close at all. A little interesting, this next one. Number 22, North Carolina going on the road to Clemson, -6.5, 3:30 on ESPN. 8-2, North Carolina beat Duke 47-45 in double overtime, while 6-4, Clemson beat Georgia Tech 42-21. Before we came on the air, we had a little discussion. Duke essentially won that game. The referees literally took it from them. It was an interception that was never reviewed in a sport that every play is reviewed. So, again, way to go, NCAA, with all your brilliant theories. It makes no sense. Duke literally got the game taken from them. A little interesting, though, Clemson has been rolling lately. They are favored at home by 6.5, number 22 team in the nation. What are your thoughts on this one?
I'm going to find the most popular Tar Heels radio show and say, this is Kyler from Chapel Hill.
Yeah, right.
Why is Mac Brown getting paid $5 million a season? Carolina's offense has been hot as of late. NC's defense has struggled a bit. This is probably going to be a high scoring game. I would take the over, whatever that is. But I do think it's going to be a close game. I'm going to take the Tar Heels here plus the points. Clemson could win this in a 3 to 6 point game, but I think North Carolina keeps it close enough.
Yeah, I have North Carolina also. Pretty much same reasons. I think their offense is too good. And when Clemson plays in shootouts this year, they haven't been able to keep up. So, I mean, they keep it close, but they lose. And the fact that we're getting 6.5, I think, is huge here. So, yeah, I'm on Drake May and the Tar Heels in this one. Minnesota is rowing their boat to Columbus to face number 3 Ohio State, -27.5, 4 o'clock on Big Ten Network. Does any team play on a real network this week? Like, what? This is crazy. 5-5 Minnesota lost to Purdue 49-30. That's good. While 10-0 Ohio State killed Michigan State 38-3.
Minnesota's defense just gave up 600 yards to Purdue. Over 350 yards on the ground alone.
That's pitiful.
That is an ugly, ugly performance. They don't have a boat to row to Columbus.
They need what's my guy? That big guy with his Flex Seal tape to maybe tape up the boat so they can.
Oh man, I don't know that guy's name. I just know like they're right now their boat's made of the My Pillow stuff, whatever that is.
Yeah.
Look for shit. Yeah, exactly. Look for Ohio State to take control of this one early. I think it's going to be a big win for them. I'll take the Buckeyes here minus the points.
Yeah, I'm on Ohio State large cover easy. Number 6, Oregon minus 23.5 on the road at Arizona State. 4:00 on Fox. 9-1 Oregon beat USC 36-27, while 3-7 Arizona State beat UCLA 17-7. Pac-12 has such crazy results. Like
I know.
Like who the hell would have thought Arizona State would beat UCLA and hold them to 7 points? Like it's
some of the Twitter or the X, whatever the hell you call it now, commentary from UCLA fans was pretty funny too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was good stuff. Another big win by Oregon at home against a high-powered USC offense. Ducks are looking really good right now. I talked last week about how if Washington didn't have that win against Oregon, I'd have them in the playoff right now. I think they keep things rolling here, so I'll take the Ducks here minus the points.
Yeah, I'm on Oregon too. The only thing I really thought about here was Kenny Dillingham, the head coach of Arizona State, was the offensive coordinator for Oregon last year, so should have a little bit more knowledge on him. It is a road game for Oregon, and it's a look ahead for Oregon State. But I still don't think Arizona State's ready for this. I like Oregon to cover. I don't think it's going to be that good of a game, to be honest. Number 24, Oklahoma State -7 going on the road to Houston, 4:00 on ESPN2. 7-3, Oklahoma State lost to UCF 45-3, while 4-6, Houston lost to Cincinnati 24-14.
Yeah, Oklahoma State shocked the hell out of me last week. I knew there was a potential for that game to be close, but I never expected only 3 points on the board or a 42-point loss. Houston's had a tough stretch here as of late against Big 12 opponents. I think that continues. Look for Ollie Gordon to get back on track in this one. I'll take the Cowboys here minus the points.
Yeah, I wish this was a home game. I'm a little skeptical of this one, but I'm taking Oklahoma State. I think this is going to be a close game, but I am going to take them to cover barely. Next, North Alabama. Wonder what's their mascot? We know that.
We can find out.
Well, you tell me while we're looking this up. North
Lions.
Alabama. Oh, I like the Lions. The fake Lions of North Alabama are traveling to number 4, Florida State, 6:30 on the CW network. I was talking about this with Reese also before we went on the air. I'm going to have to find the CW network at 6:30 on a Saturday to watch North Alabama, Florida State. So that's how my weekend will be going.
Just keep channel surfing till you find One Tree Hill.
Oh, Jesus. What's that guy's name? James Vanderbeek. Is he the commentator for this game? Like crazy. Pacey. What? I don't know what the hell these people's names are in real life.
I don't know. Ask Delk. Delk loved that show.
You're right. We should call him right now. Say, hey, what's the name of the guy from? So apparently the Lions of North Alabama are 3-7. They didn't play last week, so that's their story. They are traveling to Tallahassee. 10-0 Florida State did beat Miami 27-20. See them next year again, beat their ass again. We have no line for this game, unfortunately. I would be surprised if we get a line, period. But if we do, we will pick it on the socials sometime Saturday before 6:30. I don't even want to guess a line. I would assume we're probably looking somewhere around 33, 34 if I had to guess Florida State. That is just me throwing out a number, but I would guess that's pretty logical. If there was a hypothetical 34, would you take Florida State or not?
My only hesitation there is that I have read a good bit about Florida State trying to play some younger players pretty early in this game, especially like Brock Glenn. So that could keep the score a little closer than 33, but I would still take the Knowles.
Yeah, I'm really hoping this is a shutout. That's what I'm hoping.
Yeah, frankly, I'd be a little interested to see if they do play some of those younger guys.
Well, I would assume we do. Trying to keep everyone healthy for Florida, and the ACC championship game is already clinched. So I think there's good reason to keep some guys out of this game if we can. Number 23, Kansas State -8, going on the road to Kansas, 7:00 on Fox Sports 1. 7-3 Kansas State beat Baylor 59-25, while 7-3 Kansas lost to Texas Tech 16-13.
Yeah, Kansas State's won 14 straight in the Sunflower Showdown. Both teams have solid running games, but I think K-State's the better team here, so I'm going to take the Wildcats minus the points.
Yeah, this is a game. If every quarterback for Kansas wasn't dead, I would really be looking forward to this game. But I do think that that's a huge deal. I think Kansas State wins this game and gets the cover also. It's pretty unfortunate for Kansas this season what's happened. I've even seen some rumors that Jalen Daniels could potentially be sitting out because of a transfer portal thing. I really hope that's not the case, because that's crazy. But I guess we'll find out soon enough if he transfers right at the end of the season to a big school. Unless that school's Florida State, then I might be okay with it. So stay tuned.
He's going to a MAC school.
If he's going to a MAC school, then
Central Indiana.
Not a chance in hell.
Schumann Stadium.
Ball State could give him half ownership of Pizza King and 75% of Ball State proceeds, and he still wouldn't go there.
That would be horrible. I want half of Pizza King. It'd be amazing.
I do too. Where are we at? We both picked Kansas State, correct?
Yep.
All right. So this is the game I was considering the best game of the week.
This is the best game of the week.
This is the game I look forward to. And if you've listened to us all season, we've pretty much talked about this game all year. I said in the preseason, Oregon State is a sleeper to make the Pac-12 championship. That was in our very first college football episode. I said that, and here we are. Now, is their task a little tough? Yeah, they've got to beat Washington, and next week they got to beat Oregon. Good luck with that. But they are favored this week, so we'll see what happens. And they're home. Number 5, Washington, going on the road to Corvallis. Number 10, Oregon State, -2.5, 7:30 on ABC. 10-0 Washington beat Utah 35-28, while 8-2 Oregon State defeated Stanford 62-17.
Pretty impressive win. Huskies are playing their third-ranked opponent in a row. Can Washington stop the run game in a hostile environment is going to be the difference here. I really think the X factor is going to be Michael Penix. Could be a field goal difference, but I'm going to take the Huskies here plus the points.
Yeah, if at the beginning of the season, if you would have told me there was a game I could get Washington plus points, I probably would have bet my house on it. So clearly I'm taking Washington. There's no way I would ever not take them with points. They're too good on offense to not take them. But yeah, this game is going to be incredible. I think I'm really looking forward to this. And the Pac-12 becomes real interesting if Oregon State can win this game, because if Oregon State wins next week, we got the Civil War. If Oregon State wins the Civil War, it's Washington, Oregon State in the Pac-12, and Oregon's out. And that's a huge story. That's something no one would have expected.
Such a shame this conference is dead.
I hate it. I absolutely love this conference. Other than their network. If it wasn't for their network, I would have 100% love. The network takes it to like 92%. It's pretty bad. But
solid 8%.
8% for the network is all I can give. So I am on Washington. You were on Washington. And that game, I can't wait for that game. Florida going on the road to number 11 Missouri, -11.5, 7:30 on ESPN. 5-5 Florida did lose to LSU 52-35, while 8-2 Missouri beat Tennessee 36-7.
Yeah, Mizzou's looking solid after that win against Rocky Top. Florida's been giving up over 40 a game for a few weeks now. This is a bad matchup for the Gators. They're especially bad on the run defensive side of the ball, and they're meeting a top 10 rusher in Schrader. So give me Mizzou at home minus the points here.
You could have just stopped with bad. You didn't have to say on the run side of the ball. They're just bad. Florida sucks. Missouri, yeah. We saw what they just did to Tennessee. They're still on their home field. Shittier teams coming. I think they keep rolling. I like Missouri. Missouri, sleeper New Year's Six Bowl here. They're probably going to get one of the at-larges if they can keep winning. So I do like how their season's going, and I would like to see Missouri make a New Year's Six. It'd be a good end to their season that has been pretty solid. Number 7, Texas, -7.5 going on the road to Ames to face Iowa State, 8 o'clock on Fox. 9-1 Texas beat TCU 29-26, while 6-4 Iowa State beat BYU 45-13.
Yeah, I think this night game at Iowa State could mean trouble for the Longhorns. They just lost Brooks for the season with that ACL tear. Ewers is back, but this is set up for an upset. I'm going to gamble and take the Cyclones here plus the points to keep it close.
Yeah, I went back and this was my hardest game to pick. I went back and forth on this one a lot. Texas's offense is going to heavily struggle. And this is not the situation you want to be in the week you lose your running back. I did end up taking Texas to cover this still, but this is one that's not going to surprise. Iowa State, I think, is a live dog. I think this is a potential money line bet. Like, why not? If anything's going to happen this week is the week. I like Iowa State. Pick wise, still taking Texas though, but I'm open to seeing what can happen in this game. Georgia State on the road at Death Valley, number 15, LSU, a 30.5 point spread, 8 o'clock on ESPN2. 6-4 Georgia State lost to App State 42-14, while 7-3 LSU beat Florida 52-35.
Yeah, this Georgia State team's been giving up a ton of points lately. Now they run into Jaden Daniels, who's coming off a 600-yard game, which is just insane. They have no shot. I'll take LSU here minus the points.
Yeah, I just wonder if this is kind of one of those situations where like the subs give up the back door. I'm going to take LSU to get the cover, but I think that we might be sweating this one around 11:30 Saturday night. All right, that wraps up finally the top 25. That was a lot of games. We are going into the Muncie 6-pack. I'm waiting for Reese to crack it open over there. Shh, that was beautiful. Our first game kicks off in 35 minutes. It is, of course, Maction. Toledo, minus 9.5, going on the road to Bowling Green, 7 o'clock on ESPN2. 9-1 Toledo did beat Eastern Michigan 49-23, while 6-4 Bowling Green beat Kent State 49-19.
Yeah, Bowling Green is on a 4-game winning streak, but I think that ends tonight. The Rockets haven't lost since their season opener. I'll take Toledo here minus the points.
Yes, I am on Toledo with Captain Finn leading the charge. I like what they're doing. I think they're still just a little bit too much for Bowling Green, and they're on their way to the MAC championship. So I do like Toledo here. Next, SMU, the horse team, minus 8, going on the road to Memphis, noon on ESPN2. 8-2 SMU beat North Texas 45-21, while 8-2 Memphis beat Charlotte 44-38 in overtime. This one is going to have some conference championship implications in it. What are you looking at here?
Yeah, I think SMU's looked really good on both sides of the ball. I think they carry that into Memphis here, so I'm going to take the horse team minus the points.
So I dug in a little bit just to compare schedules, and SMU's schedule's awful. Like, I don't even know if they've beat a team with a winning record. So I like Memphis at home. I think 8's a lot of points. I don't know if Memphis is going to win, but on their home field with the conference championship implications, I'm going with Memphis here. And my head coach's former team, Coach Norvell, brought Memphis back to glory before he came to the Knolls. So I'm going to root for him. Let's go Memphis. Kent State going on the road to Muncie, Indiana. Fabulous land that it is. Minus 12.5, 2 o'clock on the plus, of course. 1-9 Kent State lost to Bowling Green 49-19, while 3-7 Ball State beat Northern Illinois 20-17.
That's right. I don't have a helmet. Carter hasn't sent me one yet. Cards have won 2 of 3. 2 out of the last 3. They get a prime matchup here against a team that hasn't won since mid-September. Look for Kelly to keep it rolling here in the shoe. Give me the chirps minus the points.
First time in a few weeks. I'm back on the Cards train. Kelly's been nice to watch. I like what they've been doing with him.
And yeah, he's fun.
Kent State seems to be horrendous. So I hope they can at least win by 2 touchdowns. Speaking of touchdowns, Illinois is going on the road to Iowa, minus 3.5, 3:30 on the 1, Fox Sports 1. 5-5 Illinois beat IU 40. Who would have thought Illinois IU would be 48-45 in overtime? That's insane. While 8-2 Iowa beat Rutgers 22-0.
I'm a little surprised at this line with Iowa being at home. I look for the Hawkeyes to lock up a W here in their last home game of the year. I'll take Iowa minus the points.
Yeah, Illinois has just been one of those teams that's hung with everyone. And Iowa clearly pretty much hangs with everyone. I mean, last week they did put a beat down on Rutgers, but I'm gonna keep going with my guy, Mr. Water Polo. He he keeps getting it done. They're covering machines in Iowa, so I'm gonna go with the 3.5. I like Iowa here, and I think a win actually secures them in the Big Ten championship.
I think so.
Speaking of conference championships, this is a big one. UNLV going on the road to Air Force -330 on the CBS Sports Network. 8-2 UNLV beat Wyoming 34-14, while 8-2 Air Force lost to Hawaii 27-13 in a game that no one was expecting. That was crazy.
Yeah, I prop bets busted. The way UNLV is playing this year, man, this was the game I was more concerned about looking towards the end of Air Force's schedule. They're 8-1 against the spread this year, them being UNLV. I think the Rebels can pull this one out on the road and maybe get an outright win. I'm going to take UNLV here plus the points.
I actually am going the other way. I like that this game is at Air Force. If it was at UNLV, I think I would flip. But the fact that they're going outside to Air Force, I don't think is going to take that loss to Hawaii too lightly. So I like them rebounding here and getting the win in the cover. UCLA going on the road to face USC. -6.5, 330 on ABC. 6-4 UCLA did lose to Arizona State 17-7, while 7-4 USC lost to Oregon 36-27.
Yeah, for Caleb Williams' psyche, I hope they get a W here. Chip Kelly's bunch, not necessarily an easy out, but that home loss to Arizona State was a little embarrassing. I'm going to roll with the Trojans here to get this one done, at least by a touchdown.
Yeah, I went back to USC also. I don't like how UCLA performed last week. I mean, 17-7 to Arizona State is embarrassing. And I mean, I know USC's defense sucks, but if you're not scoring on Arizona State, you're not going to score a whole lot on USC. So I do like USC in this one. UCF going on the road to Texas Tech -3, 5:00 on Fox Sports 2. 5-5 UCF beat Oklahoma State 45-3, while 5-5 Texas Tech beat Kansas 16-13.
Man, the networks that are coming out of the woodworks here. This should be a fun one. UCF just made a statement against Oklahoma State last week. Texas Tech, we've talked about this. Like, they're not a bad team, not as much as their record shows. I think the difference is that this is in Lubbock. So I'm going to take the Red Raiders here at home minus the points.
Yep, exact same thing. I had UCF just put on a beating to Oklahoma State at home. And now they've got to go on the road to face Texas Tech. I like Texas Tech at home to get the cover in this one. That does wrap up the picks for week 12. It is time for our locks. Reese, for week 12, we got a few interesting games here. What did you decide to lock up?
I'm locking in on a big one. I'm locking in on Georgia over Tennessee. After what happened with Rocky Top last week and what Georgia did to Ole Miss, I think Georgia rolls in this one. To your point earlier, this could be a 17+ point spread, and I'd still go with Tennessee. So I'm locking in on Georgia over Tennessee.
So I have 2 games down. I'm still trying to figure out which one I want to pick. I'll tell you what they are. I've got Washington and Memphis. I'm really debating between the two. I like both of them a lot. I'll go the other big game. Give me, like I said, I'm getting points, and I'm getting Washington, the best offense in the nation. I'm taking Washington plus. I said minus because I've never even said plus with Washington. Washington plus 2.5. All right, so that is going to wrap up the Week 12 pick edition. You have anything to add at all?
No, like I said, it's bittersweet that we're getting close to some really, really strong games here with conference championships and rivalry week and bowl games and all that stuff. But it also sucks because we're so close to being at the end of the season. So relish this, and hopefully we can flip things around a little bit on my side for some betting and get some locks done at least.
Yeah, it does really suck that this is coming to an end. College football is my favorite thing. I love college football, so it's unfortunate that we're this close. But it is nice to have the 2 teams I root for be undefeated still. So that's it's kind of a rare thing. I mean, Fresno, goddamn, they took a crushing blow last week, which ruined their chance at the Mountain West. But still a pretty good season for my Bulldogs. But it is very nice to see Florida State and Washington absolutely dominating. So not not too bad of a year, but unfortunately, the next 2 weeks to 3 weeks could still be a drastic change. Florida State's going to have Florida and more than likely Louisville, and Washington's going to have let's see, Oregon State. I forget who they play next week, but then the Apple Cup, Washington State, which they've kind of fallen off a little bit, but it's still the Apple Cup, and then potentially Oregon again. So like Washington can't catch a break. That schedule is hell. Like I don't. And I'm interested to see also if Washington stays undefeated and Oregon beats them in the conference championship, and clearly Ohio State or Michigan is going to lose. Like, I want to know what they do. Like, do they put Oregon over Washington? Because to me, that's crazy. I don't know.
I guess it depends on how the game turns out. If it's a last minute,
say it's like the same game. Yeah, the same game as last time.
You know how they are with this college football shit. It's what have you done for me lately? I guarantee you, if Oregon wins the conference championship, even if it's by 3 points, Oregon's going to jump Washington at the end of the year.
See, and that's crazy.
They'll be in.
It's insane that could happen.
Well, we only have one more year of dealing with this, and then we don't have to worry about it anymore because the college football playoff opens up. So,
yeah, and honestly, to me, when the playoff expands, I'm almost a fan of getting rid of conference championships. I feel like they become irrelevant, and that like you're literally playing a game for nothing, risking injury for potentially 3 more games that you're about to play. So I don't know. I feel like that's something that needs figured out. Maybe just crown the regular season champs with some sort of tiebreaker scenario. But the problem is these super conferences have so many teams that they can't play each other. So I don't know. I feel like there's a better solution than this. I don't like the conference championship game, but especially because there's going to be at least a few of these at-large teams that don't even play in conference championship games and still make the playoffs. So they're going to have essentially a free bye week. So I mean, there's a lot of interesting things that go into that, but we'll get to that in later episodes when that becomes a factor. So that pretty much wraps it up. We will be doing an NFL edition next. So if you are fans of NFL also, make sure you check out that episode and all of our episodes. It is actually fun to go back and listen to we did some season previews with quite a bit of predictions for college and NFL. It is a lot of fun to go back and listen to those now that we're deeper into the season and see just kind of what's coming true and what was right there, where we were way off. Honestly, we really weren't way off on a lot of things. From what I've listened to, we were actually pretty close with a lot of things. So it's kind of been nice the way things have been going. So next week, rivalry week, Florida State, Florida. So Ohio State, Michigan, Civil War, Apple Cup. Next week's going to be awesome. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So that is going to wrap up this episode. For the fine citizen on the other side of the screen, Reese Downing, I'm Jacob Workman. We will see you guys next week for rivalry week.
That's right. Cheers, guys. Good luck. Good gambling.
See ya.